Hi, my name is Jackson Pace. Today I'm going to be doing my presentation over the balloon car project from the middle school. Um, so the main content area of this project for this eighth grade class was math. Throughout this project, throughout this video, the students kind of, they learned about cars, they learned about car loans, fuel economy, gas mileage, gas prices, things like that. And they learned how to calculate loans based off certain income and stuff like that. Um, so I think it was very important for these kids to learn how to do that at such a young age. So as I was saying, a group of eighth graders worked on a project. Like I said, they learned how to calculate car loans, things like that. They were also tasked at the end to make like kind of a makeshift car out of. They used popsicle sticks, old CDs, tape, and they actually used a balloon to power it via wind. So the teachers were very involved throughout this project. I think that was one of the main things I liked about it. They were constantly checking in on students, seeing if they need any help, have any questions, things like that. Um, I think another big thing that I really liked was how the teachers used their planning period, if you will, to focus on their students and kind of collaborate with the other teachers and kind of bounce ideas off one another and talk about progress and evaluating their students, kind of seeing where everyone was at. I think the main point of this lesson was the teachers were trying to instill the fact in the heads of the students that math isn't everything we do. Towards the end of the video, they were using a motion detector and they were watching students walk around with it, and they were able to show that on a graph just to kind of show them that math isn't everything that we do in our lives. So a couple things that I noticed about this video, about the teachers especially. Like I said, that's one thing I really liked. They were guiding and helping the students out wherever they could, coordinating with other teachers, evaluating their students, and evaluating their progress, and kind of just like I said, collaborating off one another. As far as the students building of the makeshift cars was really cool. Stated in the video, they used recycled materials, popsicle sticks, tape, old CDs, balloons, things like that. Another thing that was cool, they also took a tour of like a local car dealership, and they got to talk with a salesman. They got to tour a couple cars. They got to ask him questions, about gas prices, gas mileage, things like that. I thought that was really cool and a cool aspect of their project and lesson as well. Um, Another thing I really liked about the whole classroom setup was how the desks were in groups. I think that's very important, and I definitely plan on doing that in my classroom one day. I think it allows students to kind of bounce ideas off one another, help each other out, and things like that. Throughout the project, the students worked in groups. One of the students actually stated that they prefer doing that. They think it's great. They're able to. They have 4 or 5 other kids in their group that they're able to bounce ideas off of, and if they can't figure out a question, they'll ask their somebody in their group, and if none of them can come up with the answer like collectively, then they'll ask the teacher after that. Again, materials, kind of already talked about that: CDs, popsicle sticks, computers, balloons. Yeah, they use computers to internet search things about the car, things about car loans, things like that. Use calculators to calculate percentages of income and stuff like that based on what kind of car they would get and things of that nature. I definitely think the lesson was effective. It was very good for students to learn about all these things, especially at such a young age. That's kind of one thing that I wish that I had in school. Taxes, car loans, mortgages, bills, things like that. Things that aren't really taught in school. I think it's very important for kids at such a young age, especially to kind of learn what the real world is like and kind of go ahead and start getting a grasp on that. It definitely took a different angle towards kind of a traditional lesson. I really like the fact that rather than sitting at a desk all day, listening to a lecture, watching a long video, the students were able to do something that was more hands on. It was super creative. It was super informative. And the teachers being involved, like I said, that was a big aspect of it as well. It was useful. The group setting aspect I really liked as well. There was really nothing I didn't like about this project and this video. I think it was very cool to watch these kids do what they did. So as a future history teacher, I think that there could be tons of guiding questions that I would use in my classroom. Having debates, discussions, causes regarding certain aspects of history, things like that. I think those are also very important, especially in like an English class or a history class. I think it's very important to openly discuss and have debates, obviously respectful debates. I think that's a main thing as well. As I've got listed here, I think one of the barriers maybe include different opinions, which is obviously a great thing. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I think that's very important. As long as you have respect for one another, I think it's very, very important, that people, different opinions, allow the discussion to move and, create questions and create answers, and people can see, different points of view from their own. And I think that's very important, especially in a class like a history class. Um, I think just kind of going back, I really, again, I think the project really benefited these students because they were able to, learn about things that really are going to impact their life truly. We kind of, in one of the models of learning that we talked about, in this, actually one of the model two that I did, on the problem solving learning environment, students being able to learn about things that actually have meaning. Not that school doesn't have meaning. There's definitely certain things that we definitely need to learn in order to be successful in life. But kind of like I was saying a little bit earlier, I wish that there was classes in back in middle and high school where maybe they talked about mortgages and interest rates and bills and car loans and all that kind of stuff. I think that was really beneficial for the students in this video. I also think it benefited teachers as well. They were kind of able to take a step back and kind of see how everyone was working in a group setting, track students' progress, and evaluate how they work together. Like I said, in group settings and things like that, and they were able to bounce ideas off of their other teachers, um, and kind of just figure out where everybody is. And I think it's important to realize as teachers that you know students learn on different wavelengths. They learn in different ways. I think that's important as educators to realize that not everybody learns the same way that you might or that another student might. And I think it's important that the teachers were able to kind of let this group project kind of play out and kind of just evaluate and step back and help whenever they could.